All right, so we hit OK, and notice we have nothing here. So all I have to do is check here, and it's in there. All right, so now I'm going to copy this and hit paste several times and change that first beat to a quarter note. And this measure repeats, so I'm just going to select and copy it and hit there. Now we need a third chord, and I'm going to do it that same way we just did it one more time just so you can see it. And this is at the 7th fret. So this time, instead of doing this last, I'm going to do it first. Just pull up 7th. And here we go. I don't want it barred, so there we go. And I want these two strings open. I happen to know that this is an E major 7, no third. Again, it didn't pick it up because it didn't know that it was an E major 7, no third. But that's what's implied in the music. All right, so we hit OK, and we can go on. Again, there's the chord is not written up here yet, and it's not actually in the tablature until it's in the library, but it's not in the song yet, so I have to click it, and now it's in the song, and it's written up here now. And now I can copy this little chord and do that. And I'm sure there's a shortcut for changing the rhythms back and forth, but I have not actually done that yet. Looks like all I have to do is hit a plus or minus. That would be... Yep, there we go. That should be nice and simple. All right, so copy and arrow over for the next measure and paste. All right, so this is the first section of the song. It's the first part of the intro, and this whole section is going to repeat a second time. So what we're going to do, and that's for the intro. The verse also plays these same 8 measures 4 more times. So it plays it a total of 6 times, twice for the intro and 4 times for the verse. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to enter in the repeat symbols. There's 3 ways of doing this. One of them is up here on the begin repeat sequence, and I'm just going to do that. But I could have also gone up to bar and select repeat open, or I could have hit the square bracket, which is kind of like the parentheses, but it's a square shaped one, which is just above your enter key on a standard keyboard. Okay, then I can come down here, and I could also right click if I'm in this measure, I can right click and I could go to bar, and then I could select repeat close. But I'm a fan of keyboard shortcuts, so I use the bracket, close bracket. All right, so like I said, I want to play this section 6 times, and I'll say OK. And now when it plays it, it's going to play this part 6 times for me. Okay. And then we can go on to the next section. Before we do that, I want to take a look at one of my other favorite new features to Guitar Pro 6, and that is the slash notation. There's several different new notation features that Guitar Pro 6 has, and this is one of them. Well, remember how I've been telling you and just harping on you to get these chords up here and not just kind of type them out. That's so that we can use this slash notation. I personally hate it when I read a tablature like this and I see 7s and 9s and 0s all over the place. I think that's a mess. It's hard to read. And I'm looking through here real quickly trying to scan to see, okay, does that 9 ever change to an 11 in here for just like an 8th note or something? Or does this 9 change to a 7 or, you know, whatever. So what I like to do is be able to just know a certain section is not changing. It's just the chord repeated, and the only thing is you're hitting different rhythms. So to do that, you can go to Note, and it can be finicky. You have to be sure to select just what you need. And then I hit slash. All right. And now this has changed to just the rhythm here. And so I know to play this chord with this rhythm. And it'll play it back for me. And you'll notice this measure and this measure will sound the same. I find this much easier to read than this personally. It's a matter of preference. You can do it either way, but I like this a lot. So also, this measure is identical to this measure. So instead of even copying this and pasting it so it looks like this, that can work, but even then, there's more effort here than I need, I can just hit this little symbol right here, and this symbol is from percussion music, and it just means repeat the previous measure here. So now I've got 2 measures here in a row, and I find this much easier to read. And then I can do the same thing here. And instead of going up here, I could go to bar, and I could select simile mark and select this, or I can hit Shift 5, which is the percent sign, and do this. Okay. You can also select 2 measures, and you can also do a simile mark for repeat the previous 2 bars, and it would look like this. And this symbol means to play these 2 measures. Whatever 2 measures were before it, play that again. That's not exactly what I want, but you can do it however you like. All right, so I find this is way easier to read than when it was looking like that. Okay, so then same thing here. I'm going to just tell it to do the previous measure, and then I'm going to tell it to do the slash notation. Unfortunately, this version of Guitar Pro does not have the a keyboard shortcut for the slash notation. I wish it did. Hopefully that's something they'll correct in future versions, because it's something I use quite a bit. But for now, I'll have to do that. Okay. So that is one thing. Now you have one other thing with this is we have the 5-line standard notation up here. We have the tablature down here, but you can also do something like this. You can double click on the steel guitar, and I can have a slash notation written up here. So up here, all you're getting is the chord name and then the rhythm, and that's all you're getting. You're not getting the notes, you're not getting the tab, so you know to play the B chord and with this rhythm. So for lead sheets and when you're just doing lyrics or, you know, praise and worship would be an excellent application for this. You can just do this, and you can double click this, and you can get rid of the others if this is all you need. Or you know, you can have just the tab. The way I have things tabbed out, you can have the tab like this. One thing, let's see. If I didn't have the tab notation here, it will actually indicate the rhythm here for you, and I'll show you that here in a minute.